Door Conversations. This is Lisa White, and I am here with the lovely Marla Lewis and Kimberly Dixon Dudley. How are you guys doing this morning?
Good day, my lady. How are you?
Yes, I am well. Beautiful as ever.
Thank you, hon. You too.
What's going on in Marla's world?
Man, I am tired. I'm tired.
Girl, tell the truth. Tell the truth.
I'm tired.
But still looking fabulous.
It's been good. It's been going well. Just, keeping busy. Just keeping busy.
And I know why you're tired, and what you've taught me is that it doesn't matter how old they get, you still mama.
Man.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, because I'm thinking, oh, let's let them get older and I'm done. No, ma'am.
Yeah, because you want to see them off and see them off well.
Right,
and all of that.
right,
So
right.
all of that's going on with us right now.
And so what's going on with you, Miss Dudley?
I feel like I'm on an island. I miss y'all. We're too far apart, but we have.
Here's the deal, baby.
What's that?
Our guest today, our
Yes.
expert guest,
Yes.
is Killer. She the bomb, honey.
She's the bomb.com.
So you're not gonna be by yourself too long.
Oh, I'm ready.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
ready.
Yes. Okay, so today's topic is how to lease a commercial space. This is for our small business owners. If you guys have been wanting to take that leap but just don't know, don't have the guidance, you first need to look up a real estate expert. We can assist you. That's first thing, but we're gonna give you those steps today. We'll be right back. This is Lisa White with Red Door Conversations.
Hi, my name is Crystal Placide. I'm a realtor with Kimberly Lane Properties. I've been licensed since 2016, and I've been with Kimberly Lane Properties since 2017. I chose to come to Kimberly Lane Properties because when Kim and I met, it was just a match. She has molded me and instilled all the tools necessary for me to be successful in this career. Kim has been very motivating, supporting, and inspirational in my career and both personal life. If I had to do this all over again, there's no other place I would rather be than here at Kimberly Lane Properties.
Welcome back to Red Door Conversations. I'm your co-host, Lisa White, and as I stated in our earlier, we are talking today about how to lease a commercial space. And I know I've said this season a lot of times, but we have had some heavy hitters this season.
We have.
We have another, and I mean it, another local celebrity. Who's behind the red door?
Let's see.
Let's see. Hey, I told y'all. Michica Guillory with the Guillory Group.
All right.
Come on out here, girl.
Well,
There you go. Come on out. Don't you look beautiful?
gorgeous.
My friends, thank y'all so
Don't you
much
look beautiful?
for having me.
Thank you so much for being here, Michica.
Yes.
Thank you.
This is a treat.
I'm happy to be here.
Yes, and beautiful as ever. Good. Thank you for being here with us today. We are so glad to have you here at Red Door Conversations.
I'm happy to be here this morning. Thank you, ladies, and thank you, my twin.
Hey.
We put a memo out and coordinated.
y'all.
Yes, we did.
And we put our memo out.
And it all blends so well.
Yeah, we put our memo out. You see, she didn't tell me she was coming with this necklace.
Oh.
She didn't tell me that.
I just love the bling all the way around. Look at
Yes,
it.
the shine.
I love it.
It's
Well,
shining.
everybody up
Can we
here is
say-
shining.
Can we say boss lady platform
This
today?
today on
Yes.
the stage
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Yes, we can safely say
Boss
that.
is on
We're
stage.
going to touch and agree on that one. Just touch
I
me.
like
We're
it.
just going to
Touch
touch
and
it
agree.
right now.
Touch and agree.
All right now.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about her.
Don't stop.
As I stated, she's a local celebrity, and she actually she's referred to as Mish.
Yes.
Yes.
It's just easier.
So Michica Guillory is who she is, but she loves to be called Mish. If you guys have seen her on the Isaiah Carey show, she's a regular. And he affectionately calls her Mish.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to call you here on
That's
this
just
show.
fine. That's
Okay.
the Isaiah Factor
Isaiah Factor.
Uncensored.
There you go.
You know, he'd get me if I didn't say that right.
Oh.
You know,
Isaiah Factor.
Uncensored.
There you go.
sweet. Thank you.
I love the uncensored part. I do.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I stay
You
up.
definitely do.
Yeah.
Lease is our uncensored part, just so you know.
Yes, I'm the uncensored. I take that title.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody has to do it.
Well, we
That's
can do
right.
that together right now. Yes, we're going to do that together. Yes, ma'am.
So Mish has been in real estate, guys, here in Houston, in the Houston area for about 22 years. And she specializes in commercial real estate. And she focuses on asset management during her time in the corporate sector, because she also was in the corporate sector. Is that right?
I was.
Okay. This resume, guys, is top notch.
Thank you. Took a long time to get there too. It did, almost a quarter of a century.
People need to know that. It's not
Almost a quarter of a century.
Oh,
but
wow.
honey, you did it.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes.
And in addition to sitting on the commercial committee for Texas Realtors, you also serve on the commercial forms task force.
So we're updating all those contracts y'all use.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's very important. Yes. Okay, and she owns her own commercial real estate company.
I do.
And it's the name of it is?
The Guillory Group real estate firm.
Got it.
Yes.
And you've been practicing commercial real estate for nearly 10 years in Texas, Michigan, Georgia, and Ohio.
And it's not practicing, it's teaching commercial real estate for almost 10 years in all those different states. Mostly here though.
Got it. Okay, but you have taught in Montana. I did.
Yes.
In Montana.
I know. What am I doing out there? I don't know. They call, I fly, we're done. Yes.
Now, this was a big deal. You were recently awarded the title of the Texas Educator of the Year.
Of the year.
Oh,
yes.
For 2021.
Thank you. Yes,
That's a
ma'am.
big deal.
And there are only 3 African American realtors who have ever had that title, so I'm the 3rd.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
A couple other sisters
is
blazed the
beautiful.
trail for me, and so I got to come right on in behind them.
There
But
you
yes,
go.
ma'am. So I get that for a year.
Again, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Michigan, that resume is
Yes.
Thank you.
heavy hitter.
Yes.
It's weird to hear it read back to you sometimes.
Yes.
I mean, I live it, but it's odd to hear it, your life
But you put the work in,
encapsulated.
just like you said.
That part.
It wasn't, 2 days. It wasn't 6 months.
Right.
And people need to know
22 years.
There you go.
And it wasn't easy either.
And I
Girl, you
love
don't
the
look a day
teaching
over
component.
22.
I was 13 when I started.
There you
I
go.
was.
That's how that
when I
happened.
got in. Yes, that's how that worked out.
I love it. I love it.
So what I love is the teaching component.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
love that, because so many people think that you get into real estate and you're going to make $1 million in between the commercial breaks. And so the fact that you made mention of it took time to build that type of a career and that type of resume, and that, it seems like you're passionate about teaching
I am.
people the right way to practice real estate.
Yes.
A lot of people have no idea what the first step is to securing a commercial lease. And they think it's the same thing as going out and getting a residential lease.
No.
In fact, the people who are most guilty of thinking that are realtors and people who are licensed.
Yes.
So my question is, what is the first step? What is the first step that someone should take if they're interested in leasing a commercial space?
Well, Marla let the cat out of the bag before I got out here. I was listening. I was being a little nosy. Hire one of us, please.
Yeah.
That was me.
Was that
was me.
That was
Please.
Lisa.
I thought it was Marla. Well, I was behind the door, you see, so I couldn't catch everything.
She said.
But really, I heard that, and that really is number one. Get a professional, and you sell ice cream. You do swimming pool installations. Let us do real estate.
That part.
That's first and foremost.
Excellent.
And acknowledge that there are things in this world you don't know, one of which is how to handle all this commercial real estate work. So you get a professional. And then you need to remember that you might need a full team of people. And that means an attorney, an accountant, so it's not even just us. So but
That's
the first
good.
thing, bring us in the room. That's it.
I love that.
Now, why don't you do this? Explain to people, because many times you have business owners, and like you said, they're well versed in what it is that they do.
Right.
Yes.
But they don't know the different types of leases. Can you tell us about the different types of leases, gross, net, percentage, and what they mean, and what might work best for what type of business owner?
I'm going to start by saying this. I'm a landlord representative by trade. So my job is to lock you out when you don't know this. So let's get clear.
to her.
So when you don't know, that's when the lockouts happen, and that's when we keep your things. And the leases say that. And that's all of those lease types you mentioned absolutely say your things are my things. So let's start with the gross lease. The gross lease is the one that says we're just going to charge you base rent, $1 a square foot. It doesn't change. It's very simple. It's predictable. Sure, we may increase it every year, but we know what it is, and it's easy for new business owners to work with that. The next one is the one that catches everyone off guard, and that's your triple net lease. Exactly. That triple net lease is a beast, and I always explain it this way. The base rent is that money that comes on in. Landlord is making their money off that base rent, right? The triple net is a separate pool of money for the landlord that's outgoing. I'm spending that money to pay the landscaper, to pay the roofer, to pay the trash guy, the housekeeping crew, fix the air conditioning systems in office buildings. It's the expenses, right, to run the building. But tenants are going to reimburse those expenses. So triple nets are considered expense reimbursements. The question is, how much tenant am I going to charge you for your share of that pool of my expenses? And that triple net lease is the one that catches everyone off guard, because here's the hard part. If I estimated my expenses incorrectly and something happens and I need to spend more money to run this property than I thought, I also have the right to come back and say, you owe me a little bit more. And this is when the problem begins with the lockouts. And I have to start billing you, you can't pay, and it just gets bad from there.
Absolutely.
And then the percentage rent, love you for bringing this up, because so many people who have seasonal businesses don't understand that we know your businesses fluctuate. Great sales, not so great sales. But we'll agree on a price for rent at a place where everyone can afford it, regardless of what your sales are doing. But when you make more, then you'll pay more. So we start looking at your sales figures. And so when you do better, you pay better. But if you don't, then rent is at a place you can afford regardless of how your sales are going.
Which one do you think is most advantageous for someone just starting their business?
A gross lease. It's just that it's harder to get the gross leases in retail and office environments. So it's very rare to see that. You'll see it in office, a warehouse rather, not necessarily an office in retail.
So you have a retail space, you have a medical space. What are the different types of buildings?
Lots of different types of buildings. We could sit here literally for 2 hours talking buildings, but let me just differentiate like we do in the classroom. We have office buildings and we have retail buildings, right? Retail as a word by itself simply means I'm doing business direct with my consumer, which means pretty much the customer's walking in the door. In office buildings, it's often business to business. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the phone selling you advertisements for my magazine. I'm just calling different businesses up. It's business to business.
Through the door.
Those are usually retailers. And you can have a retailer in an office building. You've seen boutiques in office buildings. So that's how you do that. But we've got retail, which is your shopping centers. We've got office buildings. We've got warehouse. And then there's all that specialty stuff. Hotels, medical. I don't touch medical with a 10-foot pole.
Got it. Really?
I am not responsible for preservation of life. I'm not trying to say anything negative about myself, but I just refuse to be that responsible. I don't think I can be. Electrical systems, that's life.
Absolutely.
That's good to know.
That's life. And so I do not, look, I know my limitations, and that's one of them. Those are specialized systems. So Mission Medical, we don't mingle.
Don't mix.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
So before we leave this point, I know a lot of small businesses prefer a gross lease, but a lot of landlords don't allow it.
Not doing that. No.
They want a triple net lease. So what would you recommend for a small business what type of terms do you think they need to include in their triple net lease to kind of help protect
Before
them?
she answers, we're going to go to commercial. We'll be right back. This is Red Door Conversations. Stay tuned.
I'm Kim Dixon Dudley, broker and owner for Kimberly Lane Properties. And on any given day, you might find me closing deals, at a speaking engagement, or mentoring. You might also catch me on my Red Door Conversations podcast, dropping gems of knowledge about real estate. We're a full-service land planning and development firm, so you might catch me on site or selecting the finishes on a product. Kimberly Lane Properties is a full-service sales, leasing, and development firm. So whatever your real estate needs are, reach out. We can assist.
Welcome back to Red Door Conversations. I'm your co-host, Kim Dixon, and we are sitting here with a heavy hitter, none other than the beautiful Michica Guillory.
Thank you.
We left off on a hot question, and you had some comments on that. So I'm going to let you pick up on what terms and things people need to consider in their contract.
Their money. Let's talk about your money. And that really is the first question on the table. How much do you have? What do you want to spend and what can you afford? And there are some landlords who will not even let you see their suite. You want to tour and move around the city. Oh, let's go look. Oh, let's not.
Right.
Okay. Let's look at your money first. Because some landlords want your financial documents ahead of time. They may even ask you to fill out an application ahead of time.
Okay.
So they may ask you for bank statements, your P&Ls, your profit and loss statements. They may ask you for a lot of stuff. They may ask you for your DUNS number, your Dun and Bradstreet number, so that they can check your business credit. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that goes on. But then what do we do when you're brand new, fresh out of the gate, and you don't have that yet? Then we need to get into a business plan and your projections. You need to know what you're doing. We know what we're doing, right?
Right.
But the landlord needs to know that you know what you're doing, because our bottom line is, as landlords, and we need cash flow.
That's right.
If your cash ain't flowing, then mine ain't flowing. You see how that works? Okay. And so when the cash ain't flowing, it's the problem. And then I have to lock doors and things of that nature.
Ooh, I need you to talk about these locked doors. I do.
Yes.
But wait.
Yes.
So new businesses, you really don't have any cash flow to speak of. You don't have financial statements per se. What do you need? What do they need to come to you ready?
They may ask to see bank statements and how much cash you have or business loans you have that will support your business at least for the first couple of years. Not few months, couple of years. Yes, we need to, because many new businesses are not cash flowing anyway in that first year.
Right.
Even as realtors, we know that. We spend more than we make that first year.
Absolutely.
So nobody's any different than us. And so they need to know, how much cash do you have?
Okay.
And so and we're not going to take all your information and share it on the dark web. I mean, cross out your social,
account numbers.
Right. But we need to see what you have before you get started. Yes.
Right. Right. Okay. And so you were going to talk about something else related to the contract and lockouts and somebody paying attention to the terms of the contract.
There's so much to know, but let me just say again, as a landlord rep, I identified myself as a landlord rep when we started, right? That means I'm the one with the key. I lock people out. It's just what I do, and mercilessly, I might add. Now listen, don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me. But I've locked out everything from nightclubs to churches, please. Don't judge me. Yes, I know. Jesus and I have set our meeting for when I pass on. We're going to talk about the churches I've had to lock out, but it's that serious.
But if you didn't pay, that's
it's business. And I use that real example to set that out there. This is about business.
Right. So when you lock someone out, the items that were left in there, that belongs to the owner.
The landlord now.
It does. There is, first of all, I would encourage.
It is no longer the tenants.
Right, and there's some steps we go through, but let me just say this. We don't go to eviction court to lock out commercial tenants for failure to pay any portion of rent. That process can start with simply giving a default notice. I can tell you you've defaulted on your lease, post that in the window. If you do not cure that default in the amount of time prescribed and agreed upon in that lease, the doors go clink, clink. And then everything inside, after a certain amount of time, is held as collateral until you pay this up. Now, if you never manage to pay it up, that's going to depend on the landlord. Maybe they'll look, I'll sell you your things back. Some landlords will keep your stuff because, you were a physical therapist's office. All this good equipment, I'll just bring another physical therapist tenant in here.
It's turnkey for that next one.
Ouch. But see, Mich, that's why I thought it was important to have this conversation that we wanted to have with you. Because so many people, even some agents, unfortunately, they don't know the difference between the residential side versus the commercial side. I mean, even just going into that space, a lot of them, I was talking with an agent not too many months ago, and she didn't know that once you get into that space, it's your space.
That's it. All the repairs.
It is yes. Can
all
you
the
touch
maintenance.
on that?
There's so much to know. When you're in a retail space, that's you. Just like you said, that's you. Air conditioning, repairs, and replacement. Do you know how much those things cost just to get up there? We're talking talking anywhere from 4 to 5 figures easily, depending on the size of your space. It's the toilets, it's the roof. We'll do the roof. It's the toilets, it's the air conditioning, flooring, hole in the wall, problems. That's on the tenant. Glass is broken, replace it yourself. Unless you have an agent like myself who will work with you to get your lease more equitable.
And that was going to be my next question. What are some things that a prospective tenant can do that can save them money on the front end when they're negotiating their lease? Can they ask for certain things like your tenant improvements?
Yes.
Okay.
There is so much to know. The tenant improvement dollars, some people call them construction, build out, TIs, TIAs, tenant improvement allowance. Bottom line is, will you give me money so I can build this thing out to make it look pretty like I want it to?
Correct.
Paint the walls, do things to the floors, etc. The question is, do I have to reimburse you for it? Some landlords do want it reimbursed. Some landlords are granting the funds. So you need to ask that question. And there's so much stuff to know. For example, in a retail environment, that air conditioning system, that's yours to maintain and replace. However, if I've told you 6 months in advance per the lease that I'm not going to renew, and that thing up there conks out, it is July. It's hot. Now I'm leaving. But I need the air for the last 6 months I'm here. Maybe you build it into your lease that if I give you notice that I'm not going to renew and it dies on me, you replace it. Otherwise, it's your issue. Things
That's
like
good.
if there's one major anchor tenant, one grocery store and lots of smaller stores to the side, and the major anchor tenant leaves, if that anchor is not replaced in a certain amount of time, then I'm out of there free and clear because I needed the foot traffic from the big grocery store.
That's it.
Yes.
So your all our business owners, you know how to run your business, but as you can see, Michica has given some gems. I mean, you wouldn't know this if you did not lock arms with a professional to help protect your interests. So it's not like a residential lease, or it's not like what you do in your business. You need to connect with the professional because there's a lot that can go wrong. But I don't want you guys to go anywhere because we'll be right back with more information on how to secure a commercial lease in this market.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Williams, and I'd like to share my experience of working with Lisa White. I was thinking about selling one of my rental properties, but the tenant was still there. After we met for lunch, a couple of weeks later, I actually received a 30-day notice. Because Lisa and I had just been in contact and she talked about how her business was going and I really liked what she had to share, I thought about her and wanted her to sell this particular rental property for me. Although Lisa and I are friends, what attracted me to use her as my realtor was that I really liked the knowledge that she had about the industry and how she treated her customers like family. I consulted with her to find out what I needed to do to upgrade the home. Lisa came with her suggestions, and my husband and I were really discussing how much money we wanted to invest in this home before we put it on the market. However, Hurricane Harvey hit, and the home was totally destroyed. Going through inspections, insurance claims, approvals, dealing with the contractor, she never left my side. She was there every step of the way, checking to make sure that the work was done properly, checking to make sure that we made the right decisions. That's not something that any realtor would normally do. Some may wonder what happened to that home. It took a year to repair that home. But I would like to say that once Lisa put it on the market, the home sold in 5 days. There were multiple offers. And because of the trust that I had in Lisa, I let her pick who would have the winning bid.
Welcome back to Red Door Conversations, Real Talking Realty. We've been having a fabulous time talking with Michica Guillory of the Guillory Group. What are we talking about? We're talking about how to secure a commercial lease. So you've told us about the infamous lockouts, but what we'd like to know is this: what can a business owner do in order to prevent or try, just to inform themselves so that they don't get to that point of lockout?
Good question. And there's a place you can start, and it's going to a Google search and typing in Texas Property Code Chapter 93. That's it. It's very short. You can literally do it on your cell phone, scroll up twice, you've seen the whole thing. Wow. There's so little in this part of the code, the law, because it even says in parts of this code that if there is a difference of opinion between what the code says and what the lease says, then the lease will supersede the code. So there are portions of that, so some of the code will supersede the lease, but many portions of that lease override the law.
Wow.
Because like we were discussing earlier, you agreed to it. You're a business owner.
That's it.
And I also need business owners to know this, because many people skip this process. You need a certificate of occupancy. Okay. Now just because you didn't see one in there before you moved in didn't mean somebody else wasn't breaking the law. And they were. You need a certificate of occupancy. That way, when we're talking life safety,
there you go.
it matters. You're opening up a daycare, you want to make sure it was built out properly.
That's it.
To code. Yeah, business owners need to know that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you see that a lot when okay.
Skipping over that process, especially in office buildings. Go look through an office building and look door to door to door to door. Many people don't have it and they think it's okay.
Door,
Look, yes, I have. Look around.
Do they usually have those posted, the occupancy code?
It's a lot of
certificate of occupancy
you will
code?
see the certificate of occupancy posted, like you see elevator inspection certificates,
That's what I
right?
was thinking.
But in office buildings, I think it's a challenge for city inspectors to go to the Transco Tower and check every single door. I think that's why so many people don't have it. But it is something you must have. And ignorance of the law is no excuse. You need to get that lawyer on your team. Do not exclude us. Include the lawyer on the team.
That's right.
Right? And then make sure that you're aware, because again, when it hits the fan, and I've seen plenty of stuff hit that fan, you're going to wish you had an attorney in the beginning, not in the end.
Got it.
And that
These nuggets. These are nuggets.
That to me is a good place to end, because that is the most important part.
There's so much.
There's so much. But make sure you have representation, because as you can see, there's a lot of moving parts.
That's it.
And you don't want to wait until you've got to defend yourself.
Yes.
Don't go at it alone.
Don't go at it alone.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Michica, thank you so much.
y'all. Thank you so
This
much.
has been an informative show, but I want the people to know how they can reach you. So give them your Instagram handle. Where can people find you online?
You know, I'm so old, sometimes I forget those things. I'm going to go ahead and release my phone number because it is publicly out there. So it's 832-768-1711. On Instagram, you can find me under Mish Guillory, and that's MISHGUILLORY. And I'm on Facebook that same way, Mish Guillory. So you can find me in a lot of places.
Well, thank you again for joining us. This has been an amazing show. We're wrapping up one episode of Red Door Conversations, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.